Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Super Game Brothers podcast, a weekly podcast all about video games. We play a lot of games. There are too many nowadays. That's an opinion that could be a very long segment, but very hard to keep up with the hundreds and hundreds of games that release every year. But we play a lot of them, talk about the ones that are our favorites, the ones that maybe we didn't like, and sometimes talk about the ones we skipped, but not very often. My name is David, and I'm joined every week by my brother Devin. Devin, how are you on this eve of the weekend? It's nice to have the entire weekend in front of you. It's like a nice feeling.
And it's a bigger weekend.
Yeah, Labor Day.
Yep, coming up on Labor Day. I am doing good after taking some self-care. When I say self-care, I mean this 20-ounce Red Bull.
Nice.
I was a bit tired on my way here. I'm actually surprised I made it.
Mm-hmm.
But I did. All is well. Yeah, killed another week.
Just killed it.
Absolutely killed it, yeah. I've been dealing a little bit with insomnia, but I don't want to say that it's insomnia. I want to say that it's due to just an all-around bad sleep schedule. So, you stay up, you watch 6 movies instead of just 4, and then it's 4 a.m., and then you try to go to sleep then, and then you don't wake up till 4 p.m.
That'll get you
And
sometime.
then you try to get on the schedule next day or something, I've done it to myself. But sleeping's been a little weird lately. So I went to bed about 3 a.m. last night, woke up at 5 a.m. this morning.
Yeah, that's rough.
So I feel very weird. Yet, you don't really notice too much when it's a difference between like 6 and 8 hours, but when it's a difference between 2 and 8.
Yeah, then you'll definitely feel it.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
I'm surprised you're still standing up.
I am sitting.
No, that's true. Yeah. So he might doze off a little bit here like a grandfather in a lazy boy recliner.
Mm-hmm.
But that'll be fine. Cool. Yeah, I'm excited for the weekend too. We don't really have many plans. We had a baby in the family, not my immediate family, but our extended family. So that was exciting. So I think like the entire extended family is kind of staying close by. Nobody's really going out of town.
It's weird to hear you say our sister is extended family, but I guess you're right.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It's our immediate family.
It was.
But not the immediate family that lives with me in this home we're in. So yeah, it is weird.
That is.
Because extended, yeah, you're probably thinking like cousins and stuff. But yeah, it was our sister. So very exciting and cool. Baby's
super awesome.
Healthy. So that's always good. Again, got some sick kids, so I don't think that we'll see the baby probably until we're very well and clear.
You go through a lot of times of sickness when you have children, don't you?
Yeah.
It's like that one took its turn, his or her turn, and then 2 of the 3 of us also got on board, and then someone else got it.
Yep.
Then got something this next month.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like between families with kids, they'd be rolling in. They're collecting the sickness like Boost in Rocket League.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's kind of a joke. Like everyone in the neighborhood or at work that I work with is like, "Oh, you're not feeling good? Did your kids start school this week?" And I'm like, "Yeah, they did." And they're like, that there you go. So everybody knows it. You get a few of those gross little kids in a room, it's bad. But when you put like 1,000 of them in the same building, that's got to be hard to keep bacteria clean.
Oh yeah, imagine how many of them are just farting without saying anything. And just their hands are just crazy. I'm really interested in like the microscopic world.
Yeah,
because it's weird how you can just get like smaller and smaller into these tiny things, and that's what seems to affect us. The things you can't see.
Sure.
You think you're doing something really casual, yet you're the 400th person to touch that doorknob between washes.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a lot of weird stuff. So
There is.
Saying.
Even just moving my office down here to this basement, I've in the last couple of months, I've thought multiple times I should get a radon test. Just because it's, I guess, just some poisonous gas that lives in the dirt. And if you got lucky, you'll never have it in your house, but if you got unlucky, you will, and it has no odor or anything like that, and can give you cancer. So there you go.
Whoa.
So just some radon for you. So get a test if
It's
you're.
like the last boss of the Elden Ring DLC, Radon. Scourge of Radon.
Yeah, you're definitely getting some scourge. But
That's crazy, bro.
yeah, kids are always sick. Devin, for question of the week, which is not a segment we usually have. I'm just kind of throwing it to you.
Questions.
If you were getting a cheeseburger, and we're just talking about like a standard cheeseburger from one of the 5 super fast food restaurants I'm about to say, I want you to tell me kind of which one would be, maybe rank them, your favorite going down.
Mm-hmm.
First up, we've got McDonald's. Obviously has to be on a list like this. We've got the quarter pounder with cheese, which is one of their better burgers in my opinion. From Wendy's, you got Dave's Single. So you're out of like the junior bacon cheeseburger cheap range. You're into the Dave Single. That's like a $5.50, $6 burger. Okay. Then you got the famous Star. That's from Carl's Jr. or Hardee's, depending on which part of the country you're in. Then you've got from In-N-Out. It's we didn't know what to call this. We kept calling it a single, but it's basically their cheeseburger. It's not a double, but it's the same as a double, just with one patty instead of 2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then you got from Burger King, you got the Whopper with a single patty again. So me and a few of my friends in our neighborhood were talking about this a few months ago at like an extended camp out that we had with some of the youth in the area. And one of our friends says that the Whopper is his favorite, and we could not believe him.
Did you all block his number?
We gave him a lot of crap for the last month. And so we finally decided we're going to split up. I'll go buy 2 burgers from these 5 establishments, bring them back, have his wife cut them up into fourths, and everyone gets blindfolded and taste them. And then in the taste testing, you're trying to do 2 things. Determine which one you're eating on the 5 different
That's probably
plates.
sometimes easy, but
It's very hard.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The only one of the 5 I got correct was In-N-Out, just because they toast their buns. And so the bun was more toasty. But you're just eating beef with cheese on it. And we tried to like standardize even the condiments.
I was going to say In-N-Out's got a unique flavor if you just get a standard burger there.
They have spread and stuff, but I don't feel like they put a ton on this one. And so, yeah, I don't know. So there was that. And then we ranked them from 1 to 5 on like our favorites, with kind of the context of we've been giving this friend a ton of crap for liking the Whopper the most. So Devin, out of those 5, before I tell you the results of our test that we did, what is your ranking of a quarter pounder with cheese from McDonald's, Dave's Single from Wendy's, a famous Star from Carl's Jr., a single from In-N-Out, and the Whopper from Burger King?
I haven't had Carl's Jr. or Burger King for quite a while. They're going to be the last 2 on the list. I'm going to put Carl's Jr. at the end. Burger King at number 4. I'm going McDonald's at 3, In-N-Out at 2, and Wendy's at 1.
In-N-Out 2, Wendy's at 1. Okay. Going into it, I thought Wendy's would win. I think it's generally mine.
If they do their burgers right, holy, some of those are so good.
Yeah.
They're filling too. I went there one day and I said, I want 3 patties on this. And they said,
Whoa,
okay.
Like a Dave's triple.
Oh, it was triple.
Those are pricey. That's like a $9 burger at that point.
I was 9 pounds heavier too.
So we did this taste test, and we get to the second one, and it's just generally like just a bad burger. There was too much of this white sauce they put on it. We didn't like it. And so with our blindfolds on, we all just start laughing and again start making fun of this guy. And there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us doing this, and we all, including him, thought that one was the Whopper.
Oh, really?
And so we're all just giving it our worst ranking, thinking it's the Whopper from Burger King. And again, the Whopper's his favorite of the 5, and even he thought it was the Whopper. We get through the rest of them. And there's another one of my friends named John that's been a very vocal anti-Whopper.
Mm.
Um,
Uh-oh.
and so we get down the list, and the first one is not what any of us thought. Um, and so we get to the second one, and it's not the Whopper. It's the Carl's Jr. burger. That was just the worst.
Oh, I'm spot on so far.
Which is kind of surprising. I've liked some stuff from Carl's Jr., but I haven't had like that one, Famous Star, I guess. Um, and then we get going down, and John was like, if number 4 is a Whopper, I'm gonna lose my mind. And sure enough, the one that he liked and ranked the highest was the Whopper after dumping on it for so long. And
oh, really?
yeah.
Wow.
And it was one of my favorites. I put it in second place. The quarter pounder with cheese from McDonald's was the one I just tasting liked the most. But I didn't think I was eating a McDonald's. I did not get the McDonald's one right.
I'm surprised In-N-Out doesn't just win this because it seems like a higher tier of burger to me.
It does, but when you're cutting it in like fourths, and so you're only getting like a corner, and you're blindfolded, it's they all blur together. It was very hard.
Crazy. That's a fun test. I did this with chocolate milk.
Ah, yeah.
And I nailed it.
I
was able to guess. I think we only did 5 different chocolate milks.
Like Darigold, or what's that called?
Meadow Gold.
I feel like there's a D one. There's True Moo.
Yeah, maybe Dairy Gold.
Darigold.
Dairy Gold.
What's that? Fair Life.
Fair Life.
That one's my favorite.
Yeah. Oh, Fair Life's unreal.
So good. Cool. Anyways, let me reveal the winners, Devin. Again, I said the quarter pounder with cheese was the one I liked the most, even though I didn't think that's what I was eating. Wendy's and Burger King tied for first for most liked, but between the ranking of all 5 of us. Basically, we took the number from 1 to 5 that everyone assigned it, and whichever one was had the lowest value. So they tied with the lowest value. The next, which would be third place technically, was McDonald's. Then In-N-Out was 4th, and Carl's Jr. was 5th. Again, because we all thought it was the Burger King one, but it was the worst for sure. So kind of fun.
So Burger King might actually be it, huh?
It was funny. He had to drive a town over to get to a Burger King because the Burger King close to us went out of business. And I feel like that's all we see is Burger King shutting down. So it was kind of funny, but a fun little activity. We had a hard time limiting it. There were other places like you get into like the Five Guys and stuff, and that's like a step above. We decided, okay, it has to have a drive-through and be like a super fast is what we called it, restaurant. So anyways, that was kind of fun. Quarter pounder with cheese, I guess, is my jam. And if you eat at McDonald's, use the McDonald's app, you can get quite a few points, get some free stuff on there too. So it's kind of nice.
Those point systems are hilarious.
I know.
They like, instead of going, you need 10 points for a free fry, they're like, you need 12,000 points, and you got 3,700 points for this visit. You're like, oh yeah, 3,700.
It's true. We give you a point for every cent you spend, and I'm like, why? Just give me a point for every dollar.
They've ramped that up. Yeah.
Yeah, it is silly. It is kind of nice with a family though, because like if I go to McDonald's, like I'm spending $30 to feed 5 people, right?
Yeah.
And so with the family, you rack up points pretty quick, but that's how they hook you. Loyalty programs.
Oh yeah.
But, that's it for question of the week. What'd you say Wendy's was the one that you would have chosen out of the 5?
Yeah, before this test, I think.
Before the test.
Yeah.
You might have to do this test one day, Devin.
I just may.
It was pretty fun. All right, moving into Super Movie Brothers. I don't know that I have much. We watched a documentary, which was kind of fun, on Netflix. It was called American Nightmare. And it was very strange. It was about this couple that wakes up in the middle of the night and like they have like strobe lights flashing in their eyes, and whoever's broken into their house tells like the wife to tie up the husband, and he puts like these swim goggles that have been blacked out on both of them and kidnaps the lady. And the story just continues to get more and more far-fetched. And so it's only 3 episodes, so it's like a 2.5 hour kind of documentary. So you generally don't believe the guy or the lady during their segments. Because the guy's like the guy goes to the police the next morning after the sleeping like concoction that the criminal gave him wore off. And he's like, hey, my girlfriend was kidnapped. And they're like, why didn't you come to us last night? And he's like, well, he gave me this like, NyQuil and like some other stuff. And so it's a really weird story. So the police don't believe him. You don't believe him. And maybe I won't spoil it, but it was kind of crazy how it kind of wrapped up. At the end of the first episode, the kidnapped, I guess not kidnapped, that's not the right word, the abducted girlfriend just shows up. And so then you're really like, okay, I definitely
with
don't
more
believe.
NyQuil.
Not with NyQuil, but she just like shows up. She's like, oh, I'm not kidnapped anymore. So it's kind of crazy, but it was actually pretty good for a true crime documentary. It was well done. Some of the writing was like slightly cringe, but that's kind of their shtick with those. I think it had a 7.5. That's a pretty good rating on IMDb for one of those. It's good. So I'd recommend that if you like true crime stuff. And other than that, we just started another show on Netflix with kind of a true crime vibe, but it's not true. It's based on a novel that my wife read earlier this year. It's called A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, I think is what it's called.
I've seen it.
It's a British show. The main actress is in the Minecraft movie. I think her name's like Emma something. I don't know. She looks like she's 12. Yeah. Seems pretty good so far. It's like a whodunit. Person goes missing, and this girl in, I don't know what they call it over there. They're saying weird words instead of like a high school and school project. They're calling it like I'm in secondary school and I've got my EPQ.
Oh, whoa.
And I'm like, what's an EPQ? I guess that's the school project. But she's trying to figure out what happened in this supposed murder case where the body was never found from 5 years prior for her school project. So recommend it so far. We've only watched the first 2 episodes. Devin, any movies or TV shows here for you this week?
2.
Cool.
I have continued Alien Earth. I think that it's phenomenal. Favorite TV show I've watched in a minute. I think that, I don't know why. It's tapping something in my brain. It's making me feel a certain type of way. It's filmed in a cool way.
Do you think it's mostly the genre, or do you think
I also love the genre, but
like,
I do think that it's very creative.
High quality.
Yes, it's actually, I think it's very fun.
Okay.
You critique shows different than I do, so I'm curious what you'll think. But I do have a friend who also is loving it.
Yeah.
It's super cool. Very, very crazy. And then last night I quickly Google searched, since Hulu has so many X-Men movies, best X-Men movies, and it was like Logan, Days of Future Past, and First Class. Supposedly are
they're better than 1, 2, and 3.
Supposedly that's what the Google AI said.
I have heard good things about Logan, which I haven't seen, but the other 2 I thought were kind of.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen Logan, but I watched Days of Future Past last night, basically 2016, I think, fighting some robots, time travel, trying to change the robots from ever being made. Yeah,
this is like the version 2.0 of the X-Men, right? It's not Hugh Jackman anymore.
He's in it.
Oh, is he?
They kind of dabble in both.
Oh,
like,
that's kind of cool.
You have the younger Magneto, and then you have Gandalf.
Oh yeah, Ian McKellen.
Yeah, he's in there. He's also Magneto.
Is Patrick Stewart in there as
Pedro Pascal's Magneto?
He is?
Yeah, so Shia LaBeouf.
It's Michael Fassbender, isn't it? Is the young one?
He's a lot of Magnetos. I don't know.
That's fun.
I watched that. Cool. It was fun. I was like, I haven't dabbled in X-Men for a minute, so.
I used to really like the first few X-Men movies from like the early 2000s with Hugh Jackman, and I don't know who else was, what other actors.
Yeah, I can see them all in my head, but I don't know.
Like, number 2 was really fun. It had Nightcrawler teleporting everywhere, and like the Beast Dude, and yeah, those are fun. You also, not to change gears if you want to talk more about X-Men.
Oh, no.
You went and saw Weapons, right?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I did.
What'd you think?
Ooh, loved that movie.
Did you love it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I loved it too. So
It
good.
had this feeling the entire time. I feel like it's still too new to talk too deeply about it.
Yeah,
Like that should not probably happen until like it's out on like streaming platforms, I'm thinking. Maybe.
yeah, that's okay.
Some
You can be
people-
high level. What's the feeling you got?
Just
Like,
kind of eeriness and
yeah,
confusion and like
dread. What's going on?
yes, it was like shared through civilians, and I liked how this was filmed, kind of changes point of views, and then you're like
Mm-hmm.
doing a crossword puzzle,
Mm-hmm.
and then just huh,
Mm-hmm.
you just go huh, right, huh. It
Yeah.
just goes to a direction that I think most people don't guess it's gonna go.
Yeah, for sure. When the villain is first shown in the principal's office, what do you think of that moment where they first like show her? I was really caught off guard. I was just like, oh, they're just like showing this creepy lady.
Oh yeah,
And
because usually they want to just keep.
Usually they keep it really well hidden. They like don't show like the whole thing, but kind of like her. I do love how she is like hiding in the public with her wig and stuff. It's really funny.
Very very odd.
Yeah, that's a great movie. If you, again, as long as you like the horror vibe and are okay with all that brings, which is going to be a bit of violence and stuff. But that I still think the creepiest scene is the when she falls asleep in the car, um, in front of the house of the kid, and then the door opens and scissor lady comes out. And that part's like kind of not even silly, but like she's walking really weird, and you're like, what's going on? But then when she goes around the back of the car and you can't hear anything for a second, and then you just hear the of like the door handle.
Mm-hmm.
I love that's like understanding horror so well. It's like what you can't see is scarier than what I show you. So we're gonna put this creepy part of this scene behind the camera, and you won't be able to see it for a second. Love that scene. But anyways,
Yeah, this didn't really dabble too heavily in horror for me.
yeah, it's not.
It did for a moment,
Yeah.
and then it went psychological, which I was so down for.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, what am I connecting here? But it did. It tried to scare you a time or two.
Yeah, the couple jump scares
I was like, what the?
were a little surprising, but
yes.
and I guess that's when they first show the villain. But at that point, you have no context, and you're like, why did they see this weird face?
Yeah, the movie Together with Alison Brie and Dave Franco. I don't know how to compare them, but also horror, but also dabbling heavily in psychological, strange. But I would say Together was scarier to me.
Yeah,
but neither
I
was
agree.
scary.
The some creepy like individual scenes, like the towards the end of the movie, the mom's like a head like going through the door like The Shining, and just kind of screaming.
Yeah.
Or the guy like barfing the black goo. Some kind of creepy imagery for sure. But you're right. Like other than a couple of scenes, it's not like a lingering scare. It's just kind of like a crazy movie.
It's a good genre.
Yeah.
Big fan. I can get locked into that. It's a long movie.
That was pretty long. Josh Brolin in there just I don't know. I feel like he acted really well. It was great.
Yeah, he kept trying to snap everyone out of existence, and it's not working for him.
Yeah. Yeah, he forgot the Infinity Stones. Cool. Well, I think that's it for Super Movie Brothers and for everything I had for question of the week in our cheeseburger chat. So that's going to take us into our normal run of show here. I am what looks like on the wrong tab. So let me get back over here. All right. So make sure to check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/supergamebrothers. We put all of our podcast video and audio versions on here, and you can get access to them early and vote on the stuff we play for both of the podcasts. So please check us out over there. We also have a giveaway on our website at supergamebrothers.com. You can win a bunch of board games or a gift card. And I feel like that is a good bundle of games to kind of dabble into modern board games if you have not done that yet. And if you have, then those are good ones. And I feel like a couple of them a little less common, like Kiro. I feel like not many people playing that, but I think it's a good one. All right, Devin, that brings us into the normal run of show. This is a weekly show all about video games, and I think we have a fun show this week. It's going to be a smidge different, but I think continuing kind of our, I don't know, surprise from last week. I just want to give 1 second to talk about Silksong, because last week when we did the podcast, um, the Silksong presentation was the next morning, right?
Right.
And like I think most people thought, it was this release date trailer that I'm going to pull up on the screen. And Devin, did you watch this whole trailer? Did you just like see the release date? Kind of
No,
what were
you just told me the release date while I was streaming.
Oh, so you haven't even seen this?
No, I haven't seen this. You just came in and you were like, guess what? Comes out in this many days. I was like, oh, shoot. Ooh.
Kind of crazy.
It's super cool. It gets so old when someone releases, like they announce this game and they're like, comes out in 76 months.
Mhm.
Everyone's like, well, the hype's gone.
Yep, I agree. And I guess kind of we buried the lead a little bit, but
Look how pretty.
the shtick here is that Silksong has a new trailer. Basically, some new segments, new characters, and stuff shown in this trailer. Some updated figures. I think the trailer says there will be 200 enemy types, where the initial trailer said 100. And there's over 40 legendary bosses, is what it says. And a big old map and some new gameplay little segments. It is crazy to see how much different it looks like Hornet moves. Maybe more like around these grappling points and stuff. But so it'll be very cool to see how different it feels to play, since I don't know. Hornet's such a cool character.
She's so cool looking.
She's the knight from the first game's half brother, or I guess half sister. And just that cool red kind of, what would you call that? Cape? Dress? I don't really know. What do bugs wear? They wear capes or dresses?
That's a sundress.
Yeah. Just looks very cool. And their artwork is so awesome.
I think this game looks clearer than the first. I've been playing the first, and all these areas actually look like lighting is done better.
Yeah.
Instead of it just having one color in the background, there's more depth to the lighting.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it
agree.
looks much more cinematic, and I don't know the word.
I agree. I'm guessing that with the first one, they probably focused on 1080. And with this new one, I'm certain they're focusing on 4K, since it's much more the standard here 7-8 years later.
Right.
And what was the other point I was going to say? And I bet they've also had a lot of time to like go over their lighting systems and kind of clean those up as well. So I bet between those couple of changes, it does look silky smooth. Not to make a dumb silk pun here, but I did.
Ho ho ho.
So, anyways, the big release date, September 4th. I wish I had something so sought after that I could be as cool as them and just say, hey, we haven't said anything in years. Here's our first trailer. Just so you know, it's out in 2 weeks on every platform. Very baller move. I think our guesses from last week were October 21st, I think was your guess. And I said November at first, but then changed it to maybe a shadow drop. But this is just as baller as a shadow drop, in my opinion. A 2-week period. Like, nobody does that.
No.
So, very, very cool. I haven't been more pumped for a game in a long time, so I'm very excited. The one detail they haven't released yet is how much the game's going to cost. The first game cost $14.99, so $15, and I think at that price was very low for how much content is in the first game. I think they were trying to prove themselves and like over deliver value. I don't know what to even think for this one. I think it'll be $29.99. I think it'll be double, just based on like how much the value of money has changed due to inflation and like global markets. And then they also, okay, now they have the sought after thing. They're not a newcomer in the industry anymore. So I don't know. We'll see. Anything I think under $30 is a huge, like a, I don't even know, like a discount and just a big old flex by them. Be like, we don't need to charge a bunch. Like if they did $19.99 or $24.99, I think that would be very generous of them when they don't need to be.
I feel like it's worth $60.
Yeah,
Because it's so fun.
I would pay 40 for sure. I mean, I would pay 60 because this is like kind of retro Metroidvania is my jam. But I don't know that the market could bear more than 40 maybe. But I don't know with how much pent up demand it's had. It might be just fine charging whatever it wants. So, anyways, that's kind of the update there on Silksong. Hopefully, we'll get a price in the next couple of days. It is Friday, so I'm guessing we won't get that until next week. Devin, since we're talking about Silksong and here getting into what we've been playing a little bit, I know you've been playing in preparation for it. Hollow Knight. How has that been going?
I have. Hollow Knight is great. It's a bit frustrating at times. The game frustrates me just a little bit for specific things. Like, it's just like, good luck. And
What's going on?
Since we've played it now, we know that we can go back and find things like a much better compass and map system, and maybe traversing the map becomes a little bit easier. And that's probably just how they wanted the game set up. But like you can tell right here in comparison to Silksong, they're using way fewer colors. There's a light around the character, and then there's the
lots of dark grays and blues.
Yeah, this doesn't look as deep. I'm super excited for the new one. Anyways, I like the game. I love how your brain starts to really understand the character's movement and how to play it.
Yeah.
I feel very accurate with that little thing. I really like that, but I'm not the biggest like mark my map when I see something. I just want to dip to the next thing and go find it. But this game encourages very deep mapping.
Yeah.
Because there's one guy in a random spot that you found after 6 hours of playing that can increase the strength of your nail. And then there's a guy 74 miles away who will buy a specific item from you for some benefit. Or you can learn an art from someone. And you're like, how did I even get here? And if you haven't been marking since the time you started, you're just going to miss a lot of things. Unless you're just running in circles for hours and hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, I agree. Using your map efficiently would help you a lot.
Oh, yes.
They do put like some little hints on the map once you have gotten the specific map piece. Like this nailsmith here that we were just at. The shape of his hut, I believe, is on the map. But you won't know what that is until you've been there, and you might not remember after too.
Yeah, I'm nitpicking a lot of small things. I think the game's great, but you do end up just running in circles a lot.
There's a lot of backtracking, and they don't tell you where to go.
Oh, not at all. Yeah. No. So many times I was like, okay, I'm 40 minutes into backtracking right now, and I have zero progress, except I'm rich now.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I like to have money to buy things. It's just there's a certain pace to the game that it naturally goes if your brain can remember some areas. And that's beautiful. Sometimes I just get in this headspace of like, I am better than this. I can absolutely destroy this game if I can just get to the next boss.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Hollow Knight is probably my favorite game like of all time. I love it so much.
Yeah, it's hard not
But
to.
it, compared to other Metroidvanias, it does hold your hand way less. Doesn't tell you where the next objective is or which area would even be smart to go to next, really. Sometimes you can go 2 or 3 different directions and it just like lets you, which I like. When I was playing, I bought all of the like map upgrades and the markers from the shop like immediately, and then you could put like 5 blue stamps on the map. Maybe it's 10, I can't remember. And then you could buy like blue, red, green, yellow, and orange or whatever. And so if I saw an area that I couldn't get to that looked like it was so high, I would probably only be able to get there once I had like a double jump or something. I marked all of those with the same color so that then I knew, okay, once I get this feature or this skill that is pretty common in Metroidvania games to unlock a double jump, then I'll go to all of the blue markings that I put on the map because that was my double jump color. And then I do the same thing with different colors. It was kind of nice, like an animal well, you could free write on the map, so you didn't have to remember blue is my double jump marker. I could like write blue equals this right on the map. A little tricky to write with a thumbstick, but you could do it. So I totally agree. I think it is definitely more vague than a lot of Metroidvania games, and less clear of where to go. And because of that, you can get lost for extended periods of time. Um, and I do remember that the first time I played it, there would be like just some little like wall I forgot to mark or something that once you unlock the wall jump, like is like the opening to the next area, but I didn't know that. And um,
Yeah, it's crazy because I go into these games and after having played Nine Souls and these very difficult games,
mm-hmm.
you can look at this game and go, okay, let me see everything that it has, every single perk. But the speedrunner in me almost is like, I think I can beat most of these bosses by just gauging their move set and not worrying about if I have 7 hit points
Yeah.
and and so I'm trying to like run through it because I've already beat it once. And so I was trying to kind of blast through it and
Yeah.
it will not allow me to. It's like, nope, you can't move like that yet. And you haven't marked your map and you are just going to be lost for so long. Like, I was just
Mm-hmm.
having people who knew the game better than me guide me to bosses. So I was like, I don't know what to do now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if you enjoy that about Silksong and if they'll have the same like design philosophy. I'm guessing they will, where it'll be like pretty vague still.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that kind of vagueness is, in my opinion, a lot more fun the first time you're playing a game because it's just pure exploration. Like I'm
Right.
going to
It's all
somewhere
new
new,
every time.
in every room is new, and so you want to look at everything in
Yep.
depth. But if you, again, this is your second playthrough. I've played through the game 3 times. Um, and so I generally know, like, okay, this is here, this is there. I'm in this room. I remember this room, but I might not perfectly remember, oh, there was a breakable wall in this portion of the room, and that's like an important thing, or exactly which portion of this area is the connecting portion to the next area. So on second playthrough, I can see how that would be more frustrating for sure. And I think it even was for me when I played it second time. I want to play this again. I'm kind of jealous.
You just don't have enough time
Yeah.
because the new one's coming out, huh?
Yeah, I don't have enough
What are we
time.
getting this on PlayStation?
Yes, for sure. Um, as long as that's all right with you. But that's where
Oh,
that's where I
heck
want
yeah.
it. And so if that is fine with you, that is where I'll get it as well. And I think, Devin, any other thoughts about Hollow Knight before I jump into what I've been playing this week?
I just think it's beautiful. The It just feels great. The game is very accurate. I was fighting this really difficult spider boss, and I was like, okay, if I go into this confidently and flick my character to the left during this tiny little frame of motion against this boss,
Mm-hmm.
I can get one extra hit in right here. Boom. I
Yeah.
smack him, and then I'm dodging, dodging, dodging. I know where he stops, and like you learn the mechanics. It's very just fun to learn the engagements. There's some bosses like that guy.
Mm-hmm.
That guy's just annoying.
I think the enemy in the game I hate the most is the orange flying beetle that shoots the 3
Oh, so annoying.
spits of lava, because you're like, I'm gonna dodge this one, but then you forget there's the top and bottom ones, and I always jump into the top one.
Yeah, those type of enemies, you're kind of put in a box of like, this enemy's gonna take at least 20 seconds to kill because he's gonna constantly fly away from you, and
Yep.
once he sees you, he's gonna just keep you in this little area where you can't get to him. And I was like, okay, then I'm gonna do a mage build. And I'm just gonna hit you with magic like crazy. I went really fast at the beginning of this game by increasing the damage output of magic.
Of like your soul attack that
Yes,
shoots forward.
just because I was confident enough to not get hit that often, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll go smack him twice, turn around, and then just shoot him with the chest ability.
Yeah.
And it was just mobbing me through the game.
What a great system that is.
Oh, it's
Too,
so cool.
of you have to attack in order to rebuild soul,
It's
which
the
is what
best.
lets you heal and lets you do your special like magic abilities. Yeah,
It's,
great system. It's probably not brand new. Like I feel like lots of games use a similar thing. But I feel like it's super clean and simple. You just see the soul build up in that little vial on the top left.
you know what they did well though, is they have that same system where high risk, high reward.
Mm-hmm.
They do this thing where every time you get hit, they make it appear as if you are down to 1 health. Every single time. It goes into this slow motion, deep
Yeah,
sound.
it is a loud noise.
And so your brain wants to freak out and you want to spam buttons to get out of there.
And your invincibility is very short. So if you panic, you'll run into something else
Yes.
and get hit.
But if
again.
you don't panic and just get some accurate hits in and dodge, you've built enough to just heal that skull back up.
Mm-hmm.
You can just like relax your mind. It's such a well-made
It is.
system.
On the same day that they released this new trailer for Silksong, and the release date, they released a interview with Bloomberg, who basically gets all the big like scoops for video game articles. And they talked a bit about Hollow Knight, which we'll get to in a second, and then a bit about what the last 7 years were like and why they stayed so quiet. And they basically said, there wasn't like some controversy or a time when the game like we like scrapped it and started over, or cut big portions, or got mad at each other. It was basically, we're having a lot of fun making this game. It's grown a bit. And like, how many times can we tell you, hey, it's going great, before like the audience gets mad? And we're a small team and we stayed really small, so we can't like make the game much faster than we're making it. And so maybe it was like a kind of a bummer they announced it so early. I'm guessing for their third game they won't do that. I think they kind of had to, because it was going to be just a DLC like expansion for Hollow Knight, but then they started working on it and they're like, oh, this is we have bigger ideas for this, and then it kind of grew into Silksong. But whatever their third game is, which I also hope is something just like this, I hope they don't announce it until 6 months before it's ready or whatever, which means we wouldn't hear from them for a long time. But that would be fine. They also said they've sold 15 million copies of Hollow Knight, and split between the two owners of Team Cherry, and just assuming they would get 70% of every game sold, and not all of them would be at full price at $15, but let's just say they made $7 on each of those copies. Some of them they would have made more on full price ones. They would make like, I don't know, $11-12, and on games on sale maybe they made $5, but let's just say 7 was the average. 7 times 15 million is sitting pretty good. That's, what is that, $105 million? Mm-hmm. Split between two people. I think they're doing pretty all right.
Yeah, they're in no rush.
Yeah, they had all the time in the world. Mm-hmm. Which is cool. And they're going to make so much stinking money next week when this game releases and it sells 2 million copies in like the first 2 hours. So, I can't imagine how much they're going to make. But anyways, I feel like I had quite a few more thoughts, but this was your segment about talking about Hollow Knight, so I won't take over it anymore.
Oh, no, you're good.
So, Hollow Knight, Devin, I'm excited that you're playing it again. That'll be cool for you to kind of take the knowledge from this game right into the new one next week. Um, it'll be interesting to see how much of it you're able to finish because it's pretty long. And if you play like the Nightmare Troop, which is like one of the expansions at the end, and then if you try to do the end game stuff, which is brutally hard, very cool, but very, very difficult. It's going to take a bit of time, so we'll see. I'm trying to finish some stuff as well before Silksong comes out next week. So the two things that I've been playing, if I can get past this ad, are still playing Cyber Shadow. My links here didn't work for where I was going to show you. Still love it. It's an awesome kind of pixel art, like kind of ode to Ninja Gaiden, and yeah, like kind of a ninja game like that. It becomes I guess I had very positive things to say in the first few hours. I still do. You get an upgrade probably 2/3 through the game that basically takes all of the other upgrades you've gotten and makes them stronger. So you've just barely got the sprint at that point, and now you can sprint faster. You've been able to jump, now you can double jump. You can now charge your attack. You like your uppercut punch like shoots more fire up. Your throwing star is now like a throwing spear. Everything gets stronger, faster, crazier. And once they introduce the sprint, which again is pretty late here in the game, just finished chapter 8, I think, so I'm about to start chapter 9, and I think chapter 10 is the last chapter, so I'm right here at the end. It gets kind of bonkers, and this part here that you're looking at isn't the best example of that, but the sprint, especially after that second upgrade, goes very fast, and if you sprint and then jump and then hit the attack button, you do this cool like ninja sprint like he just did there on the screen, kind of slash attack where you can launch yourself forward. And so you're sprinting a lot, jumping over much bigger chasms of spikes than there were before, and you're using that like dash forward attack a lot. Because of all of this increased movement, much easier, and you're not going as slow, being quite as careful because like the game has just basically given you new abilities and told you to be faster basically. And as you're still getting used to it, especially, man, you're just jumping into a lot of pits. I got really frustrated on this level, a different portion of this level that's showing here, where there's just spike pits everywhere. Like right here, he's even playing right above one. And especially when you're like sprinting through the level to deflect these bullets is a pretty tricky timing. You have to tap forward right before it hits you, and then it turns blue, and then you can slash the blue bullet and it'll fly back at them. So it's like a weird forward tap, and if you're not paying too much attention with that, you'll fly off whatever platform you're standing on. But then you're doing like the double jumps and then the forward slashes, and there's just again spikes everywhere. And I bet on this level I died 75 times to spike pits. And so I was getting a little frustrated just at that. You do start to get a little more used to it, and I feel like I would do it much better now. Maybe I'm misjudging what they want me to do, but even just there, perfect example. He did a sprint into a forward slash, timed it a little wrong, and landed in some spikes, and so he's back at the last checkpoint. So the checkpointing is I mean, they put them they're pretty frequent, so it's never like too bad, but I mean, if you just like finish like a rough section of fights and it's like this section's hard, there's 10 enemies, and I've like got through it perfectly so that I didn't get hit, and then the knockback damage didn't like knock me off my platform, which was also moving. There's quite a bit. I like how the like upgrade in speed looks when you're playing. Like it looks really cool when you're sprinting and you're doing that cool forward dash. It just makes it a little more volatile and easy to make mistakes. So we'll see how it ends. Again, I'm right at the end of the game. I would say I've got 1 more hour left probably. I think it's cool. Has some cool like pixel art cutscenes and that kind of stuff. Kind of hard at points, and I think the spike pits will drive you nuts if you play this game. But other than the spike pits, I think it's awesome. Super super cool. So I'm almost done with this one. The other game I played this week, in kind of a crazy circumstance for David. This isn't something I'm usually able to pull off. And I was only able to because this game is pretty short, but I started it and finished it. So got it completely off the backlog before Silksong came out, which is nice. This one just came to PlayStation Plus Extra, so it's included in that subscription if you have it. And it's called Sword of the Sea. It's made by Giant Squid, who I don't know if it's the exact same team or just most of the team that made Journey and Abzu. And this one, at least visually, has like a lot of the same like look. Like you're kind of going up these big mountains, there's lots of sand everywhere. Instead of floating and walking like you do in Journey, you have this sword that you surf on, kind of like a surfboard. And so because of that, the stages are much bigger because you have much more freedom of movement, and you can get like jumps, and then later you get more abilities and double jumps, and even this cool like water rail that you can just grind out of midair. You're basically turning all of this mountain that was turned into sand back into water. There's kind of a weird story with this big lava snake as the villain that you fight at the end of the game. But it's really more just about like having fun surfing around and changing most of these areas back into the ocean that I guess they once were. Get a ride on some cool sea life, and the movement's just really excellent. Like if you can kind of tell here, like it's just fun to like surf around. You can really get going really fast, jump really far. Like I mentioned, the levels are much bigger because of that, and so there's more like secrets hidden. You can find these different like high score portions. The first one is just like this big half pipe, and then you can do tricks as well. And if you like land tricks consecutively, you can string together combos. So you're trying to get high scores in those segments, which are kind of fun. It's like a little break from your exploration up the mountain. Very pretty and runs very well, very smooth. The DualSense like vibrations and sounds are very well implemented, and graphically it's like very very pretty. And gameplay wise, I think it was very fun. I think I finished it in 3 hours and 20 minutes. It took me 3 nights, so you can tell how much gaming time I get, which I have to cram it in other places. Yeah. But I think it's really fun. If you like games like Journey, I think you'll really like it, mostly just for like the awesome music, like very pretty, and just the fun of like exploring and uncovering new areas with this fun little surfboard mechanic. The story doesn't make a lot of sense. There's like another character that kind of looks like you, and then there's that lava snake, and there's a bunch of you actually under the ocean, but you're all like frozen as rocks. But then if a piece of the ocean touches you, you wake up to come heal the world. You know, that kind of story of just like, I don't know what's going on. And so I do feel like Journey is a bit at least story wise, and like the impact that you feel is a bit more focused. Like in Journey, like climbing up the snow section and getting to the top of that mountain was like such a cool experience. And this one doesn't quite have the highs of that, like narratively, of like, wow, that was such like a cool thing it put me through, of like adversity, and like, I don't know, it kind of like had this emotional swell because it's so small and focused, whereas this one is big open stages and has like a few like segments where it tries to do things like that, but they don't hit quite as well. So a very cool game, Sword of the Sea, for free 99. It's pretty fun to play and to try out, so I'd definitely recommend it. Pretty short, you can jump right into New Game Plus. You like get this currency and turn it into this kind of merchant lady, and she'll unlock new tricks that you can do. So like you like learn twist tricks and stuff eventually, and so you can get pretty combo-tastic and complex with the tricks and wall ride and that kind of thing. And that currency does carry over into New Game Plus as well. So I mean, even if you wanted to start again and really focus on getting like the platinum trophy or something the second time, it's a pretty short game, but I think it's worth your time. A game that respects my time, I really enjoy. So 3 hours, and I think you'll like it. So that's Sword of the Sea. All right, Devin. I think now we've talked about everything that we've been playing, and that was kind of a longer section than we usually do there, but we got some first impressions of Sword of the Sea. Kind of talked about all my thoughts there. Talked about Silksong, Hollow Knight, almost done with Cyber Shadow. That's going to do it for the Super Game Brothers podcast this week. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Please check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/supergamebrothers. Check out Devin on Twitch. He's Player 4, plays games there on weekdays. Has a generally great time, lots of laughing. Please check him out.
That's true.
And we'll see you next week for episode 68 of the Super Game Brothers podcast. It might be 69. We'll see. I'm not sure.
Nice.
Nice. Till then, have a good one.